The red crossbill is a small passerine bird in the finch family Fringillidae, also known as the common crossbill in Eurasia. Crossbills have distinctive mandibles, crossed at the tips, which enable them to extract seeds from conifer cones and other fruits. Adults are often brightly colored, with red or orange males and green or yellow females, but there is wide variation in color, beak size and shape, and call types, leading to different classifications of variants, some of which have been named as subspecies. Description: crossbills are characterized by the mandibles crossing at the tips, which gives the group its English name. Using the crossed mandibles for leverage, crossbills are able to efficiently separate the scales of conifer cones and extract the seeds on which they feed. Adult males tend to be red or orange in color, and females green or yellow, but there is much variation. In North America, 9 distinct red crossbill variants differing in vocalizations as well as beak size and shape are recognized. Each call type evolved to specialize on different species of conifer. Breeding and eruption: the red crossbill breeds in the spruce forests of North America, as well as Europe and Asia. Some populations breed in pine forests in certain areas of all 3 continents, and in North America, also in Douglas fir. It nests in conifers, laying 3 to 5 eggs. This crossbill is mainly resident, but often erupts south when its food source fails. These eruptions led in the 20th century to the establishment of permanent breeding colonies in England, and more recently in Ireland. This species forms flocks outside the breeding season, are often mixed with other crossbills. The first known eruption, recorded in England by the chronicler Matthew Paris, was in 1254. The next, also in England, appears to have been in 1593. The engraver Thomas Bewick wrote that it sometimes is met with in great numbers in this country, but its visits are not regular, adding that many hundreds arrived in 1821. Bewick then cites Matthew Paris as writing, in 1254, in the fruit season, certain wonderful birds, which had never before been seen in England, appeared, chiefly in the orchards. They were a little bigger than larks, and eat the pippins of the apples but no other part of them. They had the parts of the beak crossed by which they divided the apples as with a forceps and knife. The parts of the apples which they left were as if they had been infected with poison. Bewick further records an account by Sir Roger Twaisden for the additions to the Advertisement of Matt. Paris, that in the apple season of 1593, an immense multitude of unknown birds came into England, swallowing nothing but the pippins, and for the purpose of dividing the apple, the beaks were admirably adapted by nature, for they turned back, and strike one point upon the other, so as to show the transverse sickles, one turned past the other. Taxonomy and systematics. This species is difficult to separate from parrot crossbill and Scottish crossbill, both of which breed within its Eurasian range, as plumage distinctions from those 2 species are negligible, though the head and bill are smaller than in either of the other species. Care is needed in identification, especially in Eurasia, where the glippered sharp call is probably the best indicator. The identification problem is less severe in North America, where only red crossbill and white-winged crossbill occur. However, there has been debate as to whether different call types should be considered separate species. For example, the South Hills crossbill, occurring in the South Hills and Albion Mountains in Idaho, has been described as a new species because it shows a very low degree of hybridization with the red crossbill. There are also genetic differences between the call type populations. Nevertheless, few ornithologists have chosen to give these forms species status. Some large-bill, pine-feeding populations currently assigned to this species in the Mediterranean area may possibly be better referred to either parrot crossbill or to new species in their own right, but more research is needed. These include Balearic crossbill L. curvirostra balearica and North African crossbill L. curvirostra poliogyna, feeding primarily on Aleppo pine, Cyprus crossbill L. curvirostra guillemardii, feeding primarily on European black pine, and an as yet unidentified crossbill with a parrot crossbill-sized bill feeding primarily on Bosnian pine. In the Balkans, these populations also differ on plumage, with the Balearic, North African and Cyprus races having yellower males, and a Balkan type having deep purple-pink males. This, however, merely reflects the differing anthocyanin content of the cones they feed on, as these pigments are transferred to the feathers.